Hi everyone, it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. Today is Wednesday. I think it's the 13th. I'm pretty sure. And I wanted to show you, I got some yarn. It's Happy Mail. It came in the mail. I paid for it, but it's still Happy Mail. I was very excited to get it. As we know, our dear friend Sharon from Sharon's Crochet Corner, one of my yarny sisters, passed away. And we miss her greatly. And a couple of my other sisters, Jax and Trish, I know for sure. Jax from Creations by Jax, and Trisha from Mama Swift. They had been in collaboration to make a shawl. They have been talking about it. They dabbled with it, but they didn't get real into it until after Sharon passed, and they decided that they would make the shawl pattern, and they offer it on Jax's website. It's free, and they call it Hugs Are Free, and I will link it in the description box below. And several of the other Zoom aunties, as we call ourselves, some of them got together with this wonderful woman, Melissa from Crochet In Agreement, and she hand dyes yarn, and they had a colorway made for Sharon, and I believe it is called Hugs Are Free. I think that's the name of the, or you can order it and just call it Sharon's Yarn, and Melissa will know what you're talking about. So I ordered some because I wanted some of Sharon's yarn, and I bought cotton, and it's very inexpensive for hand dyed specific yarn. I mean, it's a special design, a special colorway. Now I bought cotton. She also had wool, and I don't know if she does acrylic, but I like cotton yarn. I like acrylic too, don't get me wrong. I really like acrylic, but I hear that's hard to dye. I don't remember if she offered it in acrylic, but definitely wool and cotton. Well, I can't deal with wool, so I had to buy the cotton. And I don't know who created. I was away on vacation and when Sharon passed, and a lot of this stuff was being done, and I just came along for the ride. So I paid, and it was free shipping. So the yarn was $9.39 each for 229 yards of DK cotton, soft DK cotton. And I went to her her Etsy shop, and I'm looking to see if there's like a special, I don't guess, just crochetingagreement.etsy.com. Okay, that's it. That's what I was looking for. So I paid $40 with tax and no shipping. And I received it. I opened it because I couldn't wait to get my little hands on the yarn. I've been waiting for a while. She had a lot of yarn to make. And I was not the first to order. But included with my yarn, and I'll show you in a minute, with my yarn was a thank you card. And if you make something with this yarn, you can show it on Instagram at #Crochet In Agreement, and she would really appreciate that. And she hand makes the card, and she just, a nice little message from Melissa, Crochet In Agreement, for buying yarn from her. And she had some goodies, extras in the bag, which I was really surprised at. Some Earl Grey black decaffeinated tea, and a stitch marker. Oh, sure, it was in there, perfect. And it says made with love. So there's a little heart on there. Oh, let's see if we can. There we go. Isn't that nice? I totally love it. So it's Crochet In Agreement, and all of her stuff on her card. Can you read it? How to get to her and get some yarn. So now let's see. I bought 4. as I said. Aren't they gorgeous? Do you want to see them up close and personal? And I love she uses purple. So she makes little labels, and it says, oh, this is called Hugs Are Free. Colorway is Hugs Are Free. It's a 3 weight, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 210 meters, 229 yards. Recommended hook or needle is 4 millimeter. Machine wash cold, tumble dry. Do not bleach or iron. Crochet in Agreement with Melissa. So here's her logo. And look at the yarn. I'm afraid to unhang it because I have never hanged yarn and I don't want to screw it up. I don't know if I can get it back in there. But isn't it beautiful? So, you know, it's hand dyed, so everyone's going to be just a little bit different, but they're pretty much, very much alike, all 4 of them. There's a lot of consistency, you know, in the different hanks. And, you know, they're going to look a little different because, you know, when you hank it and all that, it changes if you do it differently or whatever. But, like, the color tones and everything in all 4 of them are very, very consistent. I was a little surprised by that. I've never dyed yarn, so I don't know how that works. But I'm really impressed with how consistent the colors are. And, you know, like the amount that it looks like while it's hanged up of each one. I was tempted to cake one just so, because I thought, well, if I take one apart so you could see it undone, I probably won't get it back together, and then I would hank it and show it to you that way. But I just don't want to. I really want it, like 90%, I want to make the Hugs Are Free shawl out of this yarn. But Jaxie just made me a shawl, and I have a shawl and I have another shawl that Jaxie made me. And I have a shawl that Mama Swiss made me, or made for me. And I wear those shawls. I don't want to wear this. If I make something, I won't want to wear it. I want to just have it, save it in remembrance of Sharon, which is what I want to do with the yarn too. Like, part of me wants it to be together, the yarn and the pattern. I'm definitely making the pattern because Hugs Are Free and you send it to someone. Well, I'm not going to send my Sharon yarn to someone because it's special. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I kind of want to just, I have yarns that I just put up and they're just display. Yarns that are special, like Gary's hand-dyed. Gary sent me some hand-dyed yarn for a giveaway, and then he sent one for me, which I was so thrilled. Gary from Urban Yarns. And that sits on my shelf. It's special, and this is special. And I have yarn that I was given from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, and Laura and Julie from Kept in Stitches. They had a yarn dyed for us when we were in Florida, and that's, you know, it's special yarn. It just has to be special. And like, I want to crochet it and wear it, but at the same time I don't want it to be different than the way they gave it to me. So I don't know. I'm undecided what I'm going to do with it, and I've been contemplating for a long time. So I'm still undecided, which tells me don't do anything yet until you're 100% sure. So maybe I will make the Hugs Are Free shawl with other yarn and see. I know I'm going to love the pattern. I've seen it too many, you know, I've seen it made and it's gorgeous. Let's see if I want to unhank my yarn for that. Like I do, but then I don't. So I want to see how much yarn it takes to make it big enough to fit around me, because I'm not a small girl. And maybe if I can make it in 3 skeins of yarn and then still have one to save on my shelf. I think I really like that idea. But we'll see. We will see. So that's what I got, and I totally love it. And thank you so much, Melissa, for doing that for us. I couldn't be happier. And then I had one other thing I wanted to show you, since I talked about it, and now it's done. I did do the second half of June for the crochet, the hashtag rock 2022 AU from Judy with Judy Judy from Witch Piece Craft. It's late in the day for me. I get up at 2 a.m. for work. I've put in my 8-hour days. I've done laundry. I've done dishes. I've cooked dinner. And I've crocheted. And now it's almost bedtime, so I'm a little loopy. But I did get this finished, and I totally love it, and I want to show it to you. So the second half of, there's two. If you don't know about this, you have to go visit Judy. It's a crochet along that she's doing. You can make whatever you want to make. Originally, it was like, oh, let's make a blanket and use album covers that she chooses every month. Well, she has someone choose an album cover from their collection of albums. And so she, you add to your blanket or make a project or whatever it is you're going to do based on the album cover or the music in the album or something that's inspirational from that album. And the second part of June, being Pride Month, they were inspired to pull an album from Elton John. And I love the album. I love Elton John. I've seen him in concert. He's just wonderful. But the album cover was like black and white-ish mostly, and we've done black and white. I've done black and white. And I've done white. I'm doing a twofer. So I'm participating with Judy and Witch Piece Crafts Crochet Along, but I'm also making these to donate to Wings with Rose Likes Crochet. If you don't know that, I will link her as well, but she encourages us to donate items monthly. They have a collection for Wings, which is a shelter, a group of, it's a group that helps victims of domestic violence, and they help them get started on a new life. And so in the month of September, she is collecting hats and scarves, or hats and cowls. So on my knitting machine, my Centro, I decided that I would use that and whip up a hat and scarf twice a month based on the album cover. The first couple of them that I did, I crocheted, but since I finally got the hang of my knitting machine, it doesn't take very long, and I can even use a drill. I have a cordless screwdriver, so it goes a little bit slower than a drill would go, and whip them up really fast. So this is the hat, and because it was Pride Month, we could do rainbow. And so, sorry Elton John, your album cover was a little boring for me. I had this yarn. Isn't this cool? I'm sure it has wool in it. This is what it looks like. This is what I have left of 2 donuts. And I showed in my last video, or a previous video anyway, the label. Because I'm going to show it to you again. I just have to pull it out of the bag. It's in Chinese. Or something similar. I don't know what it says. I don't know how many yards are in here. I don't know what the material is. It's 100% this, if you can see that. And see, it's 100%, whatever that is. I got this, I believe I got this from Amazon. Or maybe I got it from Wish. I don't know, but the colors, as you can see, simply gorgeous. I'm going to say it's a 3-weight yarn. It's got wool in it, and it does make me get a little scratchy in the throat, and it makes my hands itch, so I thought I could put it through the knitting machine where I'm not really handling it a whole lot, and I'll be okay with it. It doesn't make me like swell and stuff, but it does, give me a little scratchy. So once I did the hat, and I did about 100 rows on here to do the hat, I knew that that took one whole skein to do the hat. I knew I was not going to have enough to do an entire scarf. And I kind of figured that as it was. So I pulled out, and this is Yarn Bee Baby Bee Sweet Delight. And I don't think I just got this. I think I have this color. This is 60% acrylic, 40% polyamide, and this color is celery. I think I got this last year, where they were like, when they do their clearance in August, they'll do, in case you don't know, they go by dye lot, and they do, if they have 1 or 2 skeins of a yarn or balls or whatever of dye lots that are discontinued, any dye lot that's discontinued on any yarn, the yarn isn't discontinued, just the dye lot. Or for any yarns that they only have like 1 skein of that dye lot left, they will mark those down, just like the June clearance sale. So you'll get current colors just with old dye lots. I don't really pay attention to dye lot, and so I will buy those and get what you can, because you can always get more. The dye lot's just going to be different, but like I said, I never read a dye lot anyway, so I don't care. So I had that in this green, and because there's green in here, I thought they would, oh, that one's not the greatest right there. So we'll look at this side. It's better. I did have a glitch in the system there for a minute. So we just won't show that part. This one ended up a lot better. So I took the second skein of this and I made fringe. I did a couple rows, as you can see. I just crocheted a couple of rows on the end. I crocheted it together, and then, or whip stitched it or whatever, and then crocheted it around with a single crochet, and then I did half double crochet for a couple of rows on the, on each one. 4 rows I did, and I believe I used a 6mm hook. I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to get tight, because this rainbow yarn is thinner than the baby bee yarn. So anyway, I did this, and then I cut it up and made the fringe, and I put 5 strands of fringe in each stitch across. So it's very fringy, but it gives you all the color look on both sides. You can see if you wear it. The wool makes it want to stick together, I think. But if you were to wear it, and it's hanging down, you'll have fringe on. And I was very careful to take the fringe off the donut, and keep it in order. I wrapped it around a little book I had, and I kept it in order so that the rainbow would match in the same order and fade the same as it does in the hat. And I think I did a pretty good job of keeping it together, because it looks really good, and I'm totally loving it. And it's very staticky. This yarn, very staticky. It's giving me static in my hair. So anyway, I thought I would show it to you, because that's gonna go in the stuff for wings. I'm gonna put them in one of those little plastic baggies, and I will write on the bag that it may contain wool. I think it does, just so that they know. The hat and the fringe may contain wool, but the scarf itself does not. And that gave me, I had 2 in this color, which is why I think that it was the dye lot clearance. And this is what I have left of 1 skein. I don't really know for sure how many rows I used. I made the scarf, because the row counter on my knitting machine doesn't always work really well. And so I bought a clicky, a row counter that you just put on your finger, and every time it goes around, I could just click it. And so I'm like cranking with this hand and clicking with this hand. And Roy was doing, my husband was, he was helping me, and he was doing it the same way. But we had some mechanical difficulties when we were trying to do this and watch TV. And we had the machine set up on a TV tray, and it fell over. So stuff didn't work out so well. So I don't know how many rows are here, but it's one skein. So there you go. And that skein, what did I tell you? It's 377 yards. So it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. I really like how it turned out. I'm real happy to have found something to be able to use this yarn for. And I love how it rainbows up. So I'm going to hope to be able to use that little scrap ball with some other rainbow somethings. Maybe fringe on another project. I don't know. Not as thick a fringe. But that's what I have for you today. So thanks for watching, liking, subscribing. Please visit my friends if you're not subscribed to them. I will have them all linked in the description box below for your ease of visitation. And that's all I have for you today. So thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.